All right, greetings everybody. It is Umbraze here today to bring you the JP news. Also going to do a little bit of a global video that will be going up slightly later than this video, but that I'm keeping separate. So today on the JP news, it is Vision Card Week, and much as I thought, it's going to be essentially kind of a little bit of a slower week for JP, and that's kind of fine. After the 4th anniversary and all the FF9 stuff, it's good to have essentially a week off with not too terribly much. But that doesn't mean that there's nothing. So first off, Ashes of the Apocalypse will be getting an EX quest for this new accessory, this piece of equipment that you will be able to farm. Not too terribly much to say here. I do want to touch a little bit on Ashes of the Apocalypse. Ashes of the Apocalypse, a lot of people have been wondering, when is the next character coming out from this, and who will it be? And honestly, it's still looking like it's going to be Lilith's brother, but JP kind of took a big break because of the 4th anniversary, and then we just didn't get anything so far, like for the month of November. And that means that we're probably not picking it back up until I don't even know when. Because there might be just a regular story unit for January. And then, I don't know, maybe February is when we're going to start. But that's a ways away. Hey, Sora, come here. Say hello. Meow. I know. Meow, meow, meow. You missed. Anyway, so yeah, Ashes of the Apocalypse is kind of on this weird little bit of hiatus, and it just slowed down because of other content that's coming, and this disruption of service will eventually work itself out. But in the meantime, just a little bit of farming this week for the event. Now, next up, we do have some limit burst upgrades. Eileen, Moore, and Victoria, and I don't know, there really isn't too terribly much to predict. Limit burst upgrades have been generally pretty good, but if the unit doesn't use their limit burst, then it doesn't freaking matter. That being said, it still needs to be seen whether or not these are really good. As for Character Quest 2, we're looking at Amneris and Rurugia, and Rurugia would need a hell of an upgrade to be relevant again. If he was ever relevant in the first place on JP. Excuse me. Amneris is more interesting. Any upgrade she get will probably just be good enough for her to keep working in some of the teams that she's working with on JP. So that's basically that. Next up, story update for JP. 362 will be coming out this week, and there isn't even a preview image for this, so I guess moving on. Can't even spoil anything for you guys. Next up is our VC of the bi-weekly era, and this time featuring some artwork of both the King and Queen of old, see what I did there, as well as the two little bastards that will eventually come along and ruin a lot of people's lives. Yes, Mont and Stern are featured, and they are super cute. This is a sunshiny VC. It is a permanent VC, and of course, before you ask, it is a holo VC. So we need to talk about what this is good for. So next, I guess, yeah, let's just talk about essentially what grouping we're looking at this time. And I'm just kind of stalling a little bit while I pull up Wotv Calc because I had a thought. Check on it. So yeah, the VC is good for red mages, spears, and last but not least, staff devout, which is pretty interesting because if I remember correctly, I want to say that's the exact same grouping as Ultros, which means that the Ultros VC and this VC are just made to kind of work together with that similar style of team. Of course, Ultros VC comes with the Ultros Esper, which is pretty good for Water Spear, needless to say. But magic resistance, critical damage, and pierce attack all being on the Ultros card are also pretty damn good too. Now, as for this VC, what we're looking at for the party, AoE resistance up and critical chance up, as well as maxing out the VC will give HP up, which, okay, all right, that is pretty good across the board. I think that, especially for like units like our new version of Old, he's going to be particularly happy to just have even more HP because it makes him even tougher to kill. As for the bonus for this, we're looking at max up will give an AP reduction effect. But before you get too excited about that, it is for quest mode. It is not for anything else. It also gives for mastery pierce attack and critical up of 3. So both of those kind of interesting. As for the specific unit that is getting this, they are getting magic resistance. So I guess OL is supposed to be really just the anti-soul, completely killing it 100% into the dirt. Honestly, in terms of VCs, I don't think too terribly highly of this VC. Not because it's bad, not because it isn't something that I don't think people like, but I'm just like, for quest VCs, they're always a little bit less exciting to me, even though this is definitely a powerful effect of any percentage. And last but not least, I mean, it's just good for the actual unit. Combining him with like Gurnspec or just other spear units, you have 2 VCs that do a fair bit for those type of damage units, especially spear units. So yeah, I think this VC is good, but as a permanent addition, I don't think it's any kind of a rush down. Last but not least, Raid Revival this week is coming to JP. You can see at least 2 of the bosses featured on here, and if we just scroll down, you can also get a bit of a preview that Thunderastrius, which is not super relevant to Global if you guys don't know who that is technically yet. Well, kind of technically yet. Not out on Global. Ooh. 2 videos in a row. I'm just gonna pull up some shit. But yeah, Raid Revivals, not too terribly much. Everything that is there is essentially pretty face up, and it's just, you know, giving people something to do for a week. The Xmas units will be coming out the week after, and old units will be getting upgrades. And then probably, who knows, maybe even we'll hear a little bit about the next Veritas unit. Maybe a tease of some kind. But that is all for this video. So hopefully this is giving you a unique preview into the future. And as my sign off for this video, I want to shout out my luck. Because as it turns out, my luck was really, really good today. I don't even know if I can... look, I can bring it up. What's better than getting a unit? Getting a second copy of the unit off of a free ticket. Thanks, Goomy. Thanks so much. Anyway, bragging aside, thanks so much for watching this. See you in a bit for the global video. Later.